Spring is almost over and the summer's coming. The days are getting long. I waited on waiting for the time to be right. Just to take you home.
Today we are rebuilding some PA. We have to set up a couple of amp racks. So that's what we're working on. Let's get these amp racks open, get some signal. We got to program a processor. Let's get into it.
We have 2 shows this weekend, and that means we have to split and divide ourselves. Along with PA, we have a stage delivery for Subaru here in northern Indiana, and we will need a small PA for that as well. So we're going to send 2 of these subs, 4 of these VRX. We really need to get them all cleaned up and programmed and get a system ready to go, because my father will go solo out to this show, and he's not going to have a whole lot of time to double check everything and do any kind of critical issues seen, since he'll have to set up staging, some lighting, and PA all by himself. It's definitely doable, but it's frowned upon. Now, he has a amp rack that is typically our monitor amp rack, so I will actually have to go into a system processor, and we're going to have to get it dialed in so he can run these subs and tops in like a 2-way configuration. We're going to take 2 amps and run them bridged mono. So one sub will get an entire amp, another sub will get another entire amp, as well as we're going to take 2 amps, bridge mono them, and send 1 amp to one side of the PA tops, the other amp to the other side of the PA tops. I actually make a critical mistake when setting these up. The processing is good, but I didn't check the pins in my NL4s on the back in the bridge mono position. Thankfully, he was able to find that and modify it in the field. So my sound check footage here will not be correct. It'll not be the same sound that went out to the show, but here's a look at the processor that I set up to send out. And one last look at our amps here. We have QSC power lights, several different models. So the guys have left for the day. And I have been working on this sound system. So this is the sound system my dad is going to take out to the show. And I will have an identical system, just bigger and more power for my show. So what I have for him, he's doing a show with a DJ, kind of walk around festival style. So the people aren't necessarily there for the DJ, but the DJ is going to be kind of side entertainment. And so this should get the job done. So I've got 2 of our VRXs, 2 of our Turbo Sound Madrids. I hooked up another set of our Turbo Sounds here, but he's going to pick up another set of these VRX. So he will have 4, and he'll have both of these Madrids. And the way I have things here, if I am correct, so I have each one of these bridged in mono going to each sub. It's like 3,600 watts. So 3,600 watts to 2 dual 18s there, 2 dual 18s there. And then this is, I can't remember, I want to say 2,500 watts, bridged mono as well. Another set of 2,500 watts bridged mono as well. And each one of those amps is going to a left side VRX and then a right side VRX. And so that is the PA. right now. Obviously, this speaker over here is way farther forward than this one here, so it's not 100% perfect. But for my testing purposes that the PA is going to work, it's going to work. He'll be able to set all of this stuff up pretty easily. Now, to make it even easier, we're going to label some things for him because my amps are not in a standard configuration, meaning like my top amps are actually my sub amps right now, and my bottom amps that should be my sub amps are actually my top amps. So things are out of orientation, and I'm going to label them so he knows. I'm going to color code so he knows what is what. And then we got to build him a cable trunk, maybe a little mic package, and get them all set up.
And here's a clip from his show where you can see we're outside at the Subaru. And there were a ton of people there in attendance, thousands of people, and 4VRX actually covered it just fine. And here are the clips from my show at the Country Music Festival. So for this event, what I actually ended up doing is I put 2 S16s on stage. That gave me 32 channels to use with the Behinger Wing. The Behinger Wing acted as my front of house console. I brought the M32 along, and I always like to have a spare desk. I really need to get a smaller one, but I brought the M32 along, and it acted as the monitor console for the headliner. So the headliner, I asked him, I was like, hey, do you want to log into your mixes? So I went AES50B out of the Behinger Wing and into the Midas on the A port. And through Wi-Fi, they just logged in, got their phones out. And, you know, they were like, more of this, more of this, more of this. And they did their own mixes. The Sennheiser in-ears worked great. Honestly, I mean, there two of us set everything up, and it went really freaking well. We were there at, I think, like 8 a.m., 8:30 a.m. And then Dylan's crew was actually late. They showed up. They were supposed to be there, I want to say 2 o'clock, and then 2 o'clock turned into more like 3:30, I think. One thing after another happened and they couldn't get in. And so surprisingly, we did a sound check with them fast enough. Shane Lunsford, he was on in-ears as well, but he has like an XR18 and split snake. I was able to get them patched in fast enough. And then my opener was an acoustic duo basically. And I did 2 powered 10s. I actually ran them off of the wing. And so we started on time. I think my most stressful thing of the day was that I don't like unplugging the headliner when they're in. That's kind of like cardinal rule, like don't mess with the headliner stuff. And so I plugged all of the inputs for the headliner into 2 Whirlwind Mini 12s, I think, sub snakes that went to my S16s. And I did those one for one. But when it came time for my direct support artist, Shane Lunsford, I had no choice. I had 32 inputs. I just thinking about things, and I'm like, this isn't going to work. I need to just take his kick drum and plug it into my headliner's kick drum to save time. And that's so what I did was I paid attention. I was like, okay, my whirlwinds are through 1 through 24 or whatever. And so I just unplugged them. I plugged in the direct support, sound checked. We checked the opener, and then we started the show with the opener, struck those monitors when they were done, struck their cables when they were done, Shane came up as direct support, and we did that show. Great. They mixed their own ears as well. And then as soon as they were done, I knew that all of the cables plugged into my Mini 12 Subsnakes were for my headliner, and to not touch them, basically leave those plugged in. And all of the cables that went into Shane's split, all over the stage, those were the ones that I needed to strike. So I struck those first, wrapped all of that stuff up, and then it was literally a matter of seconds for me to, at my stage box, repatch, because I didn't touch the Mini 12 inputs once I unplugged them. I knew that if I put Mini 12 1 into 1 and I put Mini 12 1 into 17, that it would be 1 for 1 exactly where I needed it to be. And so by doing that and a recall push for the headliner that we did in sound check, bam, I'm there. And so it was at that point during the show, it's like kind of tidy up, polish some things. Running my tops and bridged mono the same way my father did changed my PA forever. We were doing stereo inputs and some shading and different things, and the constant curvature array has some shading built into it. And so sending a single bridged mono source to that, it actually shaded the boxes really, really well naturally. And I'm looking forward to the show next year. The crew, the whole event was put on by a family that owns that property, and they were very helpful and they were happy to have us. And so I'm looking forward to doing that show again, and I think they're going to do it a couple of times a year, actually. So if you host a festival, if you know of anything similar, I'd love to take it on. Also, the whole point of this channel now is to do two things. It's to rebuild the audio production company that we used to have. One thing has led to another, and I have not pursued it as a passion to rebuild it. And at the same time, though, some of you may not understand the things that happened in this event, like programming the processor and things like that. And some of you need some attention. And so if you think that I can provide that value to you, Pro Audio Plus is my new venture where we're going to try and make the best audio people we can. That will turn into video and lighting and other things as well. But I am frequently finding myself in the position of I need more people. I need technicians. I need technicians of all skill levels, and I'm finding myself taking people who aren't ready for the shows that I put them in, but I'm polishing them and preparing them all the time. And so if you are looking for resources, Pro Audio Plus is going to have a bunch of those resources for you in the coming days. And so thanks for watching. I have a ton of videos coming out here soon. And unfortunately, the wing behind me is probably going to be leaving, but something will be replacing it, and that will be a whole nother topic for a ton of more content to come. Thanks for watching again, and I look forward to making the next one.